Namaste, welcome to Yoga and You. I'm Rasika Sampath, and today we are going to work on lower body restoration or lower body release. So if you're somebody who again sits at a desk a lot, sits on a chair for the whole day without much of movement, if you're somebody who drives a lot or travels a lot, maybe by flight, if you're somebody who runs or walks on a regular basis or on a daily basis, if you're in general on your feet all day long, if you cook in the kitchen, if you work anywhere where you're required to be on your feet for the whole day, if you have lower back pain, any of these issues, or if you have even some sort of a leg pain or discomfort due to something like a flat foot, or if you're on your period, you might have lower body and your leg stiffness. So if you are facing any of these issues, then this class is perfect for you to help release all the important muscles and joints where tension loves to hide in our lower body. So in today's class, we are going to be working on the hips. We'll work on all sides of the hips. We'll work on the glutes, the hamstrings, the calves. We'll work on the front of the legs, which is the hip flexors and the psoas. So hopefully by the end of today's class, you'll feel like a little bit of that strain and tension in your lower body is released. So let's get started. We'll start with some windshield wipers. Okay, so you're going to take your feet slightly apart, so maybe a little wider than your hips. Okay, and we'll start to take those windshield wipers, knees to the right, knees to the left. Focus on the exhales. The inhales will happen passively. Exhale to the left, exhale right, exhale left. Now we'll keep going like this for about 15 to 20 seconds at your own pace. This is great to promote synovial fluid in your hips, getting the hips a little warm. If you want to work on your mobility, you can even release your hands and do the same. Okay, great. Come back to center. Take both your knees to the right now and face your right shin. Okay, so you're in this 90-90 sort of a position. Face your right shin. Take your hands in front of your right shin. Inhale to lengthen the spine, and exhale, start to walk your hands forward as you fold down over your right shin. As far forward as you can go, and we'll stay here and breathe for 5. Notice the sensation on your right hip. 4. Try to bring the left inner thigh down towards the mat. Release that muscle. 3. Big breaths. 2. And 1. Slowly lift up. Take both your knees to the left, and we're going to do the same thing. Face your left shin. See if your body is in a 90-90 sort of a position. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, walking your hands forward, fold over your left shin as much as you can, and we'll stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly walk back. Come back to center, and then you can cross your legs. Now we'll come into a tabletop position from here, so you can face the long side of the mat and come onto your hands and knees. Okay, from here, find a correct alignment in tabletop. Your shoulders and your wrists are in the same line. Your knees and hips are in the same line. From here, tuck your toes, lift the hips up, and find your way into Ardha Bhekasana, downward dog. Again, you may keep the knees bent. I mentioned this in almost every class of mine, that downward dog need not necessarily have straight knees. If you find it more comfortable to keep the knees bent, please do so. But what we're going to work on over here is a little deeper stretch into the calf muscles. Okay, so what I want you to do in downward dog is just take the right leg one step back and then try to drive the heel down. So you want to try to straighten the right leg. Even if you keep a slight bend in the left knee, it's fine, but try to straighten the right leg and drive the heel down towards the mat. You'll feel a really nice intense stretch on the right calf. Stay here for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Come back to the regular downward dog position. You may drop your left knee down to the mat and then step your right leg forward. If you're used to stepping all the way forward, please feel free to do that. Now we're going to come into an Anjaneyasana position, or rather a low lunge position, I should say. So take your hips forward towards your right heel, and from here plant your left hand down. Inhale and lift the right hand up, and exhale to pull the back foot in, the heel towards the butt. Reach back with your right hand. See if you can grab your left foot. I promise you it is there. You just have to look a little bit more. If you find it difficult to spot or reach your left leg, you can try to use an elevation. Maybe a block under your left hand would help. Or you can just come up, see where your leg is, hold it and then come back down. You can even use a strap to help you with this. And then from here, pull the heel in towards the butt. Now over here you want to make sure that that left knee is behind the line of the left hip, because if it's right under, you will not feel it in the hip flexor. We're working on the left hip flexor and the quad over here. Okay, stay for another 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Release that left leg. Bring both your hands down and let's step the right leg back into Ardha Bhekasana, downward dog. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Now take that left leg one step back. Again, if you want to bend the right knee slightly, you can do so, but straighten the left leg and drive the heel down towards the mat. Feel that lovely intense stretch in your left calf and stay for 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Now drop that right knee down and you can step the left leg forward. Scoot, you can, if you want, you can scooch that right knee back so that you have it behind the line of the hip. Now shift the hips forward towards your left heel. Plant your right hand down, lift the left hand up, and on the exhale, pull the back foot up. Reach back with your left hand and try to see if you can pull the heel in towards your butt. As you do that, you should feel an intense stretch along the hip flexor and the quad. If you don't feel it, it means your knee is right under your hip. Okay, so you want to move it back. 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Release that right leg. Bring the left leg down and let's just take it back into downward dog. Left leg back. Just one breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Lovely. Drop both your knees down. And now for this next one, we're going to use a chair. Okay. So if you don't have a chair, you can also grab a couch or a bed. I mean, you don't have to grab a bed, but if you have a bed or a couch lying around, you can also use that instead of a chair. So if you're using one too, make sure it's at the top of your mat. You're gonna lie down on your back and bring your legs on top of the chair in a way that the entire calf and the foot is supported by the chair or the couch or the bed, whatever you're using. Okay, now you can try to bring the chair closer so that you're more at a 90-degree angle. Good. Now from here, what I want you to notice is the arch in your lower back. Notice if there is an arch. For some of us, especially the ladies, you might find a deeper arch in your lower back, and that is the cause of a lot of back pain, lower back pain for most of us. So what we're going to do is basically stretch out and open into the sacrum. So you're going to just feel for this arch being eliminated. Okay, so you want to press the lower back down into the mat. Feel that tailbone tucking under. Okay, so it's called a pelvic tuck. So you want to tuck the pelvis and you want to stay there. As soon as you do that, you'll also start to feel the frontal core begin to engage. You want to stay here for about, say, 15 seconds. Keep breathing. Keep the neck neutral. The back of your neck is long, so don't strain the neck by looking up. Stay on for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now gently relax the lower back. That doesn't mean you have to bring in an arch. Whatever the state was before, as you're just regularly lying down, let it be. We're going to do this same thing again. Okay, so round 2, let's go. Press the lower back down intentionally into the mat, tucking the tailbone, and you want to think of pulling the pubic bone up and drawing the tailbone down. Feel the engagement in the abdominal muscles, and we'll stay here and breathe. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Gently release the lower back. Slowly you can roll over to one side and come up to seated. We can move the chair away. Now for the remaining part of our practice, we'll need a couple of props. One is you'll need a belt or a strap. If you have a yoga strap, great, you can use that. If you have a belt at home, you can use that as well. I'm going to be using a resistance band. If you have one, you could try it out with that as well. We just don't want something which is too elastic. We want something which will have that little bit of that resistance. Okay, so I'll show you what we will use it for, and then you will understand what would work best for you. We'll also need a bolster. If you don't have a bolster around, you can use a pillow, a firm pillow. So just keep that handy so that you don't have to get up and go get it later. Okay. Now we're going to lie down on our mat, on our backs, and you're going to start to bring one knee into the chest. So bring your right knee into the chest and you release your left leg. Okay, like a half Apanasana. Exhale, switch sides, left knee into the chest, release the right. Continue like this for 5 rounds. Left knee in. Focus on the exhales. Inhales will happen passively. Right knee in. Exhale, left knee in. Exhale, right in. Exhale, left in. That was 4. Last one. In, exhale, right. Exhale, left. All right, now bring both the knees into your chest, hug your knees, and then begin to rock your body side to side, massaging your lower back with this movement. This is so great for your digestion. Keep the neck neutral. We'll keep rocking like this for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly stop rocking, come back to the center, and now let's grab our strap. Whatever it is that you're using for a strap, I'll show you what we're going to use it for, and then you can choose what works best for you. Okay. Now we're going to take one end of the strap around the arch of your foot. So we'll use the right foot first, and the other end of the strap, since mine is an elastic resistance band, I'm able to stretch it out and take it behind my head. So on the head, it will come right below the occiput, which is at the base of your skull. so that it's nice and supported over there. Okay, if you place it a little higher, it will keep slipping out. So make sure that you've placed it at the base of the skull, and you want to feel that nice resistance. So now you know what I mean. You want to be able to straighten your knee. So even if that's not a possibility for you because of your hamstrings, you want to be able to straighten it if and when you can. So you need that kind of pull, that tensegrity. Now your head could be slightly lifted. In fact, I prefer it like that. This is like a, imagine it to be like a hammock for your hamstring. Okay, so you want the head to kind of be resting, but it's slightly lifted. So you're also getting a nice stretch in the back of your neck. Keep the chin tucked towards the chest. Notice how this feels. This is one of my favorite postures, and if there is one posture that you need to take away from this practice, it's probably this. You can do it every day, you can do it on your bed. So good for you with so many benefits. Okay, so now what you want to do is relax into this in the best way that you can. So if you cannot straighten your leg fully, if there's too much pain in your hamstring, then put a slight bend in the knee, no problem. And then you can, slowly with time you can try to straighten it to the level that you can. Relax the head down onto the strap. What we're doing over here is working on the entire back line of the fascia. Okay, so the fascia, sort of the back line of the fascia starts around the toes, moves and covers the soles of your feet, moves into the Achilles, up into the calves, behind your knees, up the hamstrings, wraps around the glutes, goes up your lumbar spine, thoracic spine, the cervical spine, to the back of your neck, and completely goes around the skull and ends somewhere just above the eyebrows. Of course, there are many layers to this. It's not just as simple as that, but this stretch gives you a beautiful full back line of the fascia stretch. You can choose to intensify this a little by extending the left leg. Now we're going to stay here for 2 more breaths, but I invite you to stay here for longer if you have the time. So you could pause the video and stay here for longer. Keep breathing into the hamstrings, keep breathing into the back line of the body, and slowly bend your knees. You can bend that left knee as well. Bend the right knee and just release the strap from your right foot. Okay, and then just switch it up. So bend your left knee, bring it in, and loop that same end of the strap around the arch of the left foot. If you're using a yoga strap, make sure the buckle is towards the side and not on top of the foot or under the head. Then begin to straighten the leg to the extent that you can. Relax the weight of your head into the strap, and if you did it on the other side, you can begin to straighten the right leg as well if you are okay with that intensity. Stay here and breathe into the entire back line of the body. It's a beautiful stretch. It also helps to calm the nerves down, so it helps you to enter the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps you relax and rest. We'll stay for 2 more breaths here. Again, feel free to stay for longer. Lovely. Now gently bend that left knee. Release the strap. Place your head down, release the strap from the back of your head as well. Notice how you feel. Good. Now we're going to roll over onto our belly We'll take one stretch on our bellies. We're going to work on the hip flexors over here. So the opposite of what we worked on in this previous stretch. Okay, so we worked on the back line of the body. Now we're working on the front of the legs here. So we'll come into Ardha Bhekasana. Okay, so from your Sphinx pose, so you'll be on your forearms. You can bring the left forearm sideways, so your fingers are pointing towards the right side of the mat. Bend your left knee, your right knee, such that the heel is coming towards your butt. Reach back for the inner arch of the right foot with your right hand and pull the heel in towards your butt. If the flexibility in the shoulder allows, you can rotate the hands such that the fingers and the toes are pointing forward. In which case you can look forward, push the heel further down, and relax the quad and feel the stretch there. Stay. 3, 2, 1. Gently release that leg. Let's switch sides. Bring your right forearm down. Take the fingers to face the left side of your mat. Bend the left knee. Reach back for the inner arch of your left foot. Pull the heel in towards your butt, and if you can, roll the shoulder such that the fingers are pointing forward, elbow points up. Ardha Bhekasana. 3, 2, breathe into the quads. And 1, lovely. Release the leg. And now you may again just roll onto your back from wherever you are. For this next one, you'll need a bolster. Okay, so bring your bolster. Lie down on your back and lift the hips up. Slide the bolster under your butt and then release on top of it and extend the legs out onto the mat. This is a very, very restorative, very relaxing way to stretch out into the psoas and the hip flexors and also the abdominal muscles. Again, stay and breathe. You may not feel too much of a sensation over here, but the longer you stay, the more you'll be able to open up into this front side of the body. So we'll stay here for as many breaths as you would like to, for as long as it serves you. And once you're done here, you can slowly bend both your knees, lift the hips up, release the bolster, and then slowly come up. And I like to end this practice in child's pose. So you can extend your hands forward, release the head down. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. Our legs are our foundation. We spend most of our time standing or walking or running or whatever it is. So I hope today's practice gave you some release in the muscles that you feel some stiffness in. If you felt any back pain, I hope you found a little bit of release for that as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you in another episode of Yoga and You.